Good morning, second graders. We are about to start a pen pal project. Pen pals are people who write letters to each other. They do it because it's fun and it's a great way to get to make a new friend. Since we are all learning from a distance, Mr. Lott, Miss Harvey, and I decided that it would be a lot of fun for our class to write letters to each other. So today I'm going to help you get started with your first letter to your pen pal. We have assigned you pals, so we'll tell you who that is, but I'm going to give you the steps on what to do. My pal is going to be Mr. Lott. I am going to write to him. And to do this, I need the envelope that my teacher provided, and that's in your learning bundle. I need the paper to write a nice letter, and I need a pencil. Now, boys and girls, I am going to switch my pencil for a pen so that you can see my writing better, but you should always write with a pencil because writers make mistakes, and it's easier to correct our mistake if we have a pencil. So I'm going to encourage you to use a pencil, but today I am going to use a pen. All right, friends, so here's my paper. To write a letter, there are 5 parts. All right, the first part is the date. So we are going to write the date right up here on the top. Make sure when you have your paper that you have it so that the big blank is at the top, not at the bottom. There's a small blank down here at the bottom, but the big one is at the top. All right, so I'm going to write the date. Today is still September for me, and I'm going to start with a capital S. And boys and girls, look where I am starting. I am starting right on the edge of the paper, and that's very important. A letter starts right here. The date starts right there. September. And today is the 25th. And I always put a comma between the date and the year. There we go. Now we leave one space, and it's time for the second part of the letter, which is the greeting. Now, boys and girls, our paper here has really nice lines. The blue line that's solid is the ceiling. The red line is the carpet on the floor. We want to make sure that our letters touch the floor. They don't float around in the air. So I'm going to start my greeting. My greeting is dear. So I start with a capital D. Very tall. It went from the blue ceiling to the red carpet. My other letters go below the broken line, the dashed line. Sometimes I call it the waistline because it's right there in the middle, like your own waist. Dear Mr. Lott. This is the greeting. It's who the letter is to. Dear Mr. Lott. At the end of Lott, I put a comma because there's a little pause there. Now I'm going to write him the letter. Dear Mr. Lott, I'm so glad you are working at Harborview. He's filling in for Miss Flynn while she takes care of her baby. I'm so glad you are working at Harborview. Period. Let's see. I should tell him that I think he's doing a really good job. Yeah, I think I'll do that. You are doing a great job. The kids. Do you notice how I'm putting periods at the end of my sentences? The kids really like you. Now, I must tell you, friends, I'm going to put exclamation because I think you guys really do. I have been wondering some things about Mr. Lott because I don't really know him very well. And we just work together, and I haven't really had time to ask him. But now I can ask him in the letter. I can ask him, you know what? How old are you? Now, since I'm asking him a question, I have to put a different kind of mark at the end. Not a period, not an exclamation. I've got to use a question mark. If you ask your pen pal some questions, you are going to have to use a question mark also. How old are you? Do you have kids? I know he's married, but I don't know if he has kids. Do you have kids? What about a dog? I wonder if he has a dog. What about a dog? I'm going to tell him about my dog. I have a dog named Hazel. Now that's her name, so I'm going to have to write with a capital letter. Boys and girls, do you notice how I'm really working hard to stay in those lines? Keep my letters on the red carpet. That's very important. I have a dog named Hazel. I love to hike with her. Alrighty, so I have my first thing, the date. I have my greeting, which is the second part. The body of my letter is the third part. That's what they call the part. The main part is called the body. And I'm just about ready to end the body of my letter. But I want to remind Mr. Lot that I am looking forward to getting a letter back from him. Let's see. So I love to hike with her. What are your favorite trails? I'm going to ask him that question. Please write back. And I mean that. I'm going to give it an exclamation point. Please write back. Okay, first part is the date. Second part is the greeting with the comma. Third part is the body. Now I got to end this letter. I got to close it, okay? So we close it by taking its own line. Doesn't matter that I have all this space here at the end. I have to come to my own new line. And I am going to write my closing. And I'm going to write your friend because it's a friendly letter. And again, I'm using a capital. Your friend. And there's my comma. And so now there's the date. There's the greeting. Here's the body. The fourth part is the closing with a comma. And the fifth part is the signature, which is my name, Miss Antea. Awesome. There's my letter to Mr. Lot. Oh my gosh, he's going to be so happy to get it. And I am going to encourage you, like me, to throw in a picture. And I'm going to throw in just a little bit of art for Mr. Lot. I happen to have these really cool stencils left over from last year. They are Plinkett form line design. And I think I am going to do, I'm going to just go ahead and just use some of them and make a rubbing for Mr. Lot. So he has something cool to look at. I'm going to make it mine kind of like a face. Oops, I'm going to have to make it a little bit closer. Bring my ovoid eyes together. There we go. And now I'm going to get a crayon and I'm going to do a rubbing. And I remember the Plinkett really liked the colors red and blue. So I am going to use red and blue. Now since I'm doing a rubbing, I have to go from the middle out. I remember that. And hold my paper very, very strong. Oh, here comes my design. And I'm going to go from the middle out. There's my design. I see my ovoids. Cool. I like that. Maybe I'll do a little bit of blue also. Right over here. And you know what I think I'm going to do? Because I want him to see some of my work too. I think I'm going to use my Sharpie, and I'm going to go ahead and do some outline. I'm going to just do like a chain of mountains. I love the mountains. I wonder if he likes them too. And just make it look like our Juno with the spirit of the Tlingit back there. Awesome. All right, I'm happy with that picture. You can make your own picture and you can decide what to make. All right, we are almost done. So now I've got my letter and I've got my picture. And I need to get them into my envelope. The envelope is also included in your learning bundle, and we have already addressed it. Now, it does say Harborview instead of your pen pal's name because it needs to come back to Harborview, and we are going to get it in the mail to your pen pal. We can't give out addresses of each other. So if you get it back to Harborview, we are going to get it to your pen pal. So now I have to get this letter inside of here. If I fold it, it's too long this way. I know. I'm going to fold it this way. One fold here, and one fold there. And I'm going to put it inside my envelope. And time to lick it. Blah. Blah. There it is. Doesn't taste great, but that's all right. Now, I have to put in the corner where this letter is coming from and who it's coming from. So in case it doesn't get there, it's got a stamp and it's got the address, but sometimes they just don't make it there. So it's important to put your name over here in the corner, your name and your address. So my name, Miss Antea. And my address, that's the place where I live, 444 Glacier Highway. Again, I'm using capitals because I am talking about the names of things. All right, and then I write the city, Juneau, Juneau. Juneau is our city, and I'm going to put a comma between the city and the state. We use two letters, AK, to show Alaska, and the special digits called the zip code are 99801. All right, friends, I have a friendly letter for my pen pal, Mr. Lot, and now I am going to take it and I'm going to put it in my mailbox and lift the little flag up so the mailman will come. Now, if you don't have a mailbox, just go to the post office and drop it in the blue post office box outside, or you can go inside, but wear a mask, and a postman will deliver this letter to Harborview, and then we will send it on to your pen pal. There's one more thing I want to say is that I'm going to put underneath here who my pen pal is, Mr. Lot, so that you know that's who it's going to, Mr. Lot, so that the teachers will know when it gets to Harborview. All right, friends, are you ready to get started to write to your pen pal? Do your best handwriting, ask a few questions, tell your pal about yourself, and see what things you might have in common. Tell them how old you are, maybe what some of your favorite foods are, or what you like to do while you are having a weekend or time alone. Maybe a favorite book, how you feel about school, anything at all, friends. Your pen pal will be so happy to get a letter from you.